Hey everybody, this video brings us out to Fruitland Park, Florida. Can't say I've ever been to Fruitland Park, Florida. This is a first for me. We're here at the Lake Griffin State Park, and the reason why we are here today is to take a look at something pretty interesting. I found out about this just recently. My friend Dave told me this existed. I did not know about this, and I thought, well, you know what, this week I've got to get out here and I've got to check this out. So we are here again at the Lake Griffin State Park. Costs $4 to get in here. I think it's $5 like per vehicle, but if you're by yourself, it's only $4, and then an extra $4 per person coming with you. So depending on how many people you're traveling with, it could cost you a little bit to get in here, but only cost me $4, which I think is a fair price for what I'm about to see. This is pretty awesome. So I'm excited. Had to come out here. Had to check this out. We're gonna walk down this trail right here to see what it is. I do wanna see. The lady at the front said what I wanna see is literally like right over there. It's not far, but you gotta walk down the trail to get to it. So we're gonna walk down a trail and we're gonna go see something pretty interesting. So maybe this kind of spoils it a little bit. This is the Live Oak Trail we're going to walk down. Again, they gave me this little pamphlet here of the Lake Griffin State Park, Florida State Parks. Is that a panther? I think that might be a Florida panther there. Pretty awesome. We're actually gonna go see, I believe, what's pictured on the front there. So totally giving away some spoilers right now. At least I think, I'm pretty sure what's pictured on the front of here is what we're actually walking down this trail to find right now. I think. So supposedly, according to the sign, according to the lady, I walked down this trail a short ways. Supposedly it's not very far. We're gonna find what I came out here to find. I always have to get used to the ground here in Florida. It's so sandy. it's like you're at the beach. Every time you walk, you like kick up sand everywhere. I mean, this once I believe was right Florida at one point. It was like underwater or something like that. So all the soil here is very, very sandy. And when you're walking, you gotta actually, it's like walking in snow or walking in wet grass. You gotta take like real steps. No, none of this shuffling your feet stuff, because if you do that, you're gonna have a lot of sand in your shoes. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So just a few seconds walk down the trail, you can actually see my van right there. Right down this trail leads you to this, Florida's second oldest live oak, the Mammoth Oak. Look at this. It is a huge, giant oak tree. That is awesome. Please do not climb on historic tree. We will not be doing that. Look at this. That is amazing. It is huge. As the sign here says, live oak tree. This live oak tree is the second largest oak tree in the state of Florida and is estimated to be between 300 to 500 years old. It serves as a home for many species of mammals and birds, and may even have been a landmark for the Timucua, if I'm saying that right, probably not, Indians who frequented the area before settlement, and later the Seminole Indians. The first settlers discovered the tree in 1811. Since then, it has attracted tourists from the entire nation. Look at this, the Mammoth Oak. This is cool. This is a very, very large tree. This is awesome. I had to get out here. I had to see this. I see what they're saying about do not climb the tree. It is very, very climbable. It's kind of calling to me. It's got this whole area up here. It would be very easy to climb all over this tree. I guarantee you, tourists from decades past were definitely climbing this tree, but now do not do it. This is cool. This is awesome. This is an amazing looking tree. That is so cool. I had to get out here. I had to see this. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because the article I read also said that it was a 5-minute walk down the trail from the parking lot to the tree. Again, that was like 30 seconds. So maybe the people who wrote this article were not good with numbers, but according to the article I read, the Mammoth Oak is not only the second largest oak tree here in the state of Florida, it's the second oldest oak tree, live oak here in the state of Florida. Again, take that with a grain of salt, just from something I read on an article online, but this is so cool. Regardless, that is neat. It is such a huge, gigantic oak tree. This is pretty fantastic. Definitely had to get out here and see this. Second largest oak, live oak here in the state of Florida. Possibly, supposedly also the second oldest live oak here in the state of Florida. It is such a large, huge, mammoth tree. This is cool. I love a good old tree. I had to come out here. Had to check this out. Totally worth the drive out here. This is cool. I just love this sort of thing so much. The OG tourist attractions. Back in the day, people were not coming down to Florida to go to Disney, to go to Universal, to go to SeaWorld. They were coming down here to see things like this, to see giant trees. This is what brought people from all around to come down here to Florida to check out an OG, an original tourist attraction. That is so cool. I would have driven all the way from Pennsylvania or wherever down here to Florida just to see this. Absolutely. You tell me Florida's second largest live oak is down here, and I think I gotta see this. Even in the year 2024, I think I've gotta see this. This is so cool. I could have driven 25 minutes to Disney, about 25 minutes to Universal. I could have driven, I could have hopped in my car, popped right over there, spent the day in the park, riding all the attractions, going on Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. But no, I chose instead to drive the hour out here to see this huge giant oak tree. And in my opinion, as much as I love Disney, maybe slightly cooler. So back in Pennsylvania, I used to love to visit large trees like this, usually large sycamore trees. A lot of times they were witness trees, trees that actually witnessed Revolutionary War activity. This tree, though, is a heck of a lot older than any of those witness trees I visited back in Pennsylvania. Though I don't believe this one actually saw any Revolutionary War activity. Florida back then wasn't even a state. But this is cool. Such a gigantic, huge tree. And I see what you guys were saying, because a lot of people from the South would watch my videos of me going out and seeing those witness trees, and I'd be in awe of how giant and huge they were. And a lot of people from the South would leave comments saying, I don't understand why you're freaking out. I have a tree like that in my backyard. And I get it now. I see what you're saying. These trees, these live oaks, they do get very, very big. I get it. Back in Pennsylvania, you'd have to have like the right conditions for a sycamore to grow as large as they could grow, and for them to be around as long as they are around. Usually it's like a spring-fed tree, could grow for a very, very long time. But I see what all you Southerners were talking about. Yeah, you probably do have very large live oaks in your backyard. You see them all the time. But for a Yankee like me, for a Northerner, trees like this are amazing. It is so cool to come out here and see this. I love this. I will always be fascinated by a giant tree. It may not have bore witness to any Revolutionary War activity, but man, I don't care. This thing is still cool, and it's a heck of a lot older. So keep in mind, when it comes to trees, it can get a little confusing. Again, this is the second largest, quite possibly, depending on what you read, the second oldest live oak here in the state of Florida. It's not the largest, though, and it's not the oldest. The largest, I believe, is outside of Gainesville, Florida, so not too far away. Someday, maybe, and probably we will go visit that. And I think the oldest is actually in Ormond Beach, if I'm getting that correct, Ormond Beach, or outside of Ormond Beach, somewhere in that area, Florida. So at some point, we can go visit the oldest, we can go visit the largest. We will definitely do that. But the largest does not always mean the oldest. The oldest does not always mean the largest. So again, it can get kind of confusing when it comes to the trees. But this one here is definitely the second largest live oak in the state of Florida, and quite possibly the second oldest live oak here in the state of Florida. Again, totally confusing if you're trying to visit specific trees, but it can be done. We will do it. We will definitely go visit the other live oaks at some point. But even though this one takes second place, it doesn't make it any less cooler. This is such a fantastic, interesting, awesome tree, worthy of the silver medal. This is cool. Although I gotta be honest, now I'm kind of curious, what's the third largest and the third oldest? Is there a bronze when it comes to trees? I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google that and find out. If there is, we're totally visiting that as well. Just in the short time I've been out here, I've already seen a number of people walk up and down the trail to come out here, see the tree, take some pictures by the tree. I don't blame them. Again, this is cool. This is awesome. This is the stuff I live for. I love the new modern attractions. Again, I love going to Disney parks and Universal parks, and I love all the new stuff, but it's stuff like this. Even the stuff that's older than like the 1950s roadside attractions. You think roadside attractions, you probably think of like the weird, bizarre stuff out on like Route 66 and whatnot that got tourists to pull over. The tourist traps, the stuff that, you know, the thing, stuff that got people to pull over, maybe get some gas, get something to eat, buy some tchotchkes, just make some money on a long travel. You're on the road for hours and hours and hours, maybe days and days and days, traveling from point A to point B. You want to get out and stretch your legs, and it's the roadside attractions, the tourist traps that gets you to pull over and see what it's all about, and it's an excuse to pull over. I love those. Those are cool. That's what you think of. At least that's what I think of when I think of your traditional tourist attraction. Nowadays, people might think of, again, Disney World, Universal as a tourist attraction, but this predates all of that. This predates the days of things like Route 66 and whatnot. This was an original tourist attraction. It was the weird stuff like this. It was, oh my gosh, look, we found the second largest oak tree in the state of Florida. Come out and see this. This is cool. This is the stuff I love. I love going back in time, thinking it's the 1800s. I'm dressed in my nice suit, my top hat. Danny would be wearing her big, I don't know, Southern, I'm picturing like a Southern belle with the big like hoop skirt thing going on in the bonnet. She would she would rock that look now. She definitely would have rocked that look back in the day. Picturing us coming out here, arms linked with our little children in there. They're those suits with the shorts. I'm really getting into picturing this in my head. They would come running down here. We'd be walking behind them to see the second largest oak tree in the state of Florida. So cool, so awesome. Had to get out here. It was about an hour or so drive. That is a large hawk that is flying by. It was about an hour or so drive from my house, but totally worth it to say I've been here, I've seen this. Now I got to go see the oldest live oak, and now I have to go see the largest live oak. Things to put on my Florida bucket list, because those are things I have to eventually do. But since this one was only about an hour away from the house, knew I had to come out here, knew I had to see this. Had to be one of the probably millions of people who have been out here to see this original, old school tourist attraction. This is also a really nice attraction to come out and see if you're looking to do something outside in the state of Florida, because as we all know, Florida, very warm, very humid. Standing right now in the sun, I'm sweating right now, but just take a few steps forward into the shade of the tree and it already feels so much nicer. I can feel the humidity dropping. I can feel the heat dropping. It feels really, really good under the shade of the oak. I could see myself sitting down right here with a nice book, leaning up against the tree, having a read, having a nice nap. Maybe I should have brought some tea and a croissant out here. I should have stopped at I'm sure there's a Starbucks somewhere in the area. I should have stopped at Starbucks, got myself something to eat. I could have just relaxed right here by the live oak, against the live oak, because in the shade, it feels really, really good. So if you're down here and you're looking to see something that will allow you to get some fresh air in, but you're thinking to yourself, I do not want to go out into the insane heat that is Florida pretty much all year round, come out here, see the oak, and enjoy the coolness of the shade of the oak tree this whole time. Oh my gosh, what is that? There's a lizard, but that's a crate. Look at that. What kind of lizard is that? Did you see that? Did I get that on camera? I've never seen that kind of a lizard. It's blue. Is that like a blue skink or something? What is that? I was gonna try to get a better shot of that lizard for you guys, but unfortunately he ran up the tree. I have no idea where he went, but that was awesome. I've never seen a blue lizard like that before. I'm so used to seeing those little ones that run around everywhere in Florida. Even the geckos, those little kind of like see-through geckos. I see those all the time as well, but I don't see blue lizards running around very often. That was pretty cool. I love the nature out here. That was awesome. After doing a little bit of Google research, it was indeed a skink. So that was a skink. That was cool. That was unexpected. An unexpected little bonus tree skink. That was neat. So many different animals living in here. Such a crazy, awesome ecosystem. All the different, again, birds and mammals and lizards and plants and whatnot that use this tree, that call this tree its home. That is awesome. That is so cool. The skink. that was neat. Okay, so the skink completely threw off my train of thought. I have no idea where we are now, but again, such a cool, awesome, amazing tree. Florida's second largest, quite possibly second oldest live oak. That is so awesome. Such an amazing original OG tourist attraction out here in the wilds of of Florida. Again, it sits right off of like the highway right here. This is just a slight little buffer of trees between the tree and the highway, but you do have to come into the park at the parking lot right down there, and then walk a couple seconds down the trail, like a 30-second walk down the trail to see this amazing oak. I love how they actually curved the trail as well, so that when you're walking down the trail, you don't see the oak until you get around the bend. That is neat. I knew this was something I had to see. This was absolutely a bucket list item. Yes, it may have only been added to my bucket list just a couple of days ago, but I immediately threw it on there. I knew I had to come out here and see this. This is cool. You can see where people have probably climbed on this at one point. It's a little worn right here. Again, do not climb on the tree. If you come out here, do not do that. You can totally tell people have done that over the years. I'm sure over all the many decades this has been here, probably many people getting up there and getting their photo taken on the tree. They ask you not to do that anymore, but I'm sure back in the 1800s, early 1900s, even into the mid 1900s, people were out here hopping on this tree, getting their photo taken. This is cool. This is awesome. I love this kind of stuff. This is what I live for. I love the weird and the bizarre. I love the amazing, awesome OG tourist attractions. This is just, again, this is too cool. If you guys do come out here though, be a little careful when it comes to stuff laying on the ground. This piece of palm right here just jabbed me pretty good in the shin. I did not see this. That hurt a little bit. Probably came off, I would assume came off this palm right here, growing up through the limbs of the Mammoth Oak. What do you guys think did this? Look at the marks in the tree. Was that a chainsaw? Was that a hand saw? Was that an axe? And why? Comments down below if you know what that is about. There's also all these holes here. That's probably from a woodpecker. That is cool. Again, nature and not so much nature. Things destroying nature. I love it. So awesome. What do you guys think lives in this hole right there? Maybe that's the home of the skink. Maybe a skink family lives right in there. Something lives in there. A total ecosystem just in this tree alone. You can see how over time some of the limbs have fallen off. They probably broke, and the park came out and cut them down to make sure that it didn't kill the tree. There's a broken one there. There's another one over here, another missing limb over here. I've seen this happen on other trees back in Pennsylvania, and they do indeed cut them straight. I guess that somehow prevents the tree from getting any kind of a disease or rotting or something like that. So a couple of branches over the years have fallen off, but just again, so cool. All the ferns, everything about this tree is amazing. How many things do you think live right in here alone? I could live right here. This is neat. Such a cool tree. So much history, so much life. We might only be a few feet from a major highway, but this is some just fantastic nature. The more I'm looking at this tree and all the marks in it, I'm also noticing a P and a K right there. There's a C, hearts, S right there. That looks like maybe an E and a W, maybe like a D and a W. There's all kinds of things carved into here. I can't make every one out, but it looks like people have definitely been carving their names into the palm here next to the oak. Although I do not condone carving your name into any tree at all. I mean, okay, and for all fairness, when I was a teenager, sure, I may have carved my name or a D, hearts, whatever into a tree back in the day, but I don't condone it now. I would say kids, adults, whoever, if you're watching, don't be carving your names or your initials or anything into a tree at all. But I will say, if you have to do it to the palm next to the live oak. Do not carve your name into this. At the moment, I was looking for some. I don't see any carvings in the tree, which is good, because nope, I take that back right here. What's it say? S-A-B or something? I don't know. Or no, Jurassic Park A-B. I don't know what that is right there. Maybe J-A-B something. All right, I think there's an H there, so I take it back. There are some carvings here. Makes you wonder how old those are. If that's a newer carving from like the last couple of years, that could be a carving from a really, really long time ago. Who knows? But looks like somebody has carved their name, unfortunately, their initials into the tree. I don't know who would do that. I don't understand why anybody would do that. You come out to a place like this, you see the second largest, second oldest live oak in the state of Florida. Such a historic, amazing, awesome, beautiful, giant tree. And you think to yourself, hey, let's get out my pocket knife and carve my name into it. Like, who thinks that? A standard, regular tree. Again, don't do it, but at least, I don't know. At least I can see if you want to carve your name into a regular, nothing special tree, just a palm tree or something like this, fine, whatever. Again, I don't condone it, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. But why into a tree like this? I used to see this all the time back in Pennsylvania. So many of those sycamores I'd visit would have names carved into them. And I just don't understand why it was something people felt they needed to do. Pretty sad, but looks like there are a couple of initials here in the tree. It's the only initials I see, thankfully, no other ones. But yeah, if you do come out here and you feel like you have to do it, you just have to carve your name. Again, maybe try to rope yourself in. Don't do it, but stick with the, if you have to, stick with the palm, not the oak. Okay, well, the heat and humidity are very much beginning to rise right now. I am quite sweaty, although again, standing here in the shade of the tree, it really does feel good. There's a slight breeze blowing. It feels really nice in the shade of the oak. But out there, where I was standing a few minutes ago taking some photos, not so much. That is the surface of the sun. This is a nice shaded, cool area. Big difference between right there and right here. But again, I was standing out there a few minutes ago, so I am now a big, giant, sweaty ball of goo. And as such, I'm thinking that's gonna do it for Florida's second largest live oak. Pretty amazing here at Lake Griffin State Park That is awesome. That is really cool. Had to get out here, had to see that. I don't want to go and stand back out there again. I'm still trying to stay in the shade. That is cool. Had to get out here, had to see this. I love this kind of stuff. It's not very often you get to see a true retro rest stop. That is what that is right there. That is true retro. That is 1800s retro right there. Well, older than 1800s, but as far as being a rest stop, a tourist attraction, 1800s. But again, the tree is much, much older than that, between 300 to 500 years old. So awesome, so cool. Live oak, Florida's second largest live oak. Pretty amazing, pretty awesome. Had to get out here, had to see that. But all right, guys, with that, I think we are done. So why am I standing back in the sun again? I don't know. So if you guys have ever been out here to see this, leave your comments down below. Want to hear from you guys. Want to know, have you been out here to see Florida's second largest live oak? Have you ever seen the largest live oak in Florida? Have you seen the oldest live oak in Florida? Someday we'll go check those out. But for now, had to drive out here, had to see this. This is cool. Leave your comments down below. If you're a tree enthusiast, as I am, leave your comments down below. If you've been out here to see this, leave your comments down below. If you have any cool stories about giant trees, leave your comments down below. I want to hear your tree stories. But all right, guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to go get back into the AC of the van because, like I said, sitting in the sun, in the shade, not so bad. But right here in the sun, oh, awful. All right, guys, that's going to do it. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts. Also hit that join button and become a member of this channel and gain early access to all of my videos. All that stuff helps support the show. It keeps the show going. It really does help out, guys. I really do appreciate the help and appreciate the support. And if you guys watch this video all the way until the very end, hashtag, I don't know, hashtag, what should today's hashtag be? I have a couple different ideas running around in my head and I'm not sure which one to use. Hashtag tree skink. Hashtag tree skink. If you guys watch this video all the way to the very end, because seeing that blue skink was really, was really neat. So neat. I'm getting all choked up just thinking about it. Or maybe I should have brought a bottle of water with me. I'm thinking it's probably the latter. Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Something I need to start doing when I come to these places in Florida. Bring a bottle of water. It's very important. A canteen. That's what I need. A good old canteen. All right, guys, and that's going to do it. So, what is that? Might have been a big spider. I don't know. Let's walk this way. All right, guys. Florida, nature. Sorry, guys. That's going to do it. So as always, like I said, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. And if you do hit that subscribe button or you are subscribed, then I will see you guys in the next video. One last look. Florida's second largest live oak, possibly Florida's second oldest live oak here at Lake Griffin State Park. Pretty awesome, pretty amazing. But that's gonna do it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Whew. I need some AC and some water. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. All right, guys, hold on, wait a minute. We are no longer at the Lake Griffin State Park. Instead, I had to drive 5 minutes down the road to the Griffwood Mobile Park community to check out something I had to see. There was no way I was driving all the way to Lake Griffin without actually seeing the lake. Look at that gar. That is awesome. So again, no longer at the actual state park because bizarrely enough, to actually see the lake from the state park, you have to take a boat down a river that eventually will lead you out to this. Check this out. Lake Griffin. This is beautiful. Look at this scenery. This is why I absolutely love Florida, for sights like this. So many beautiful and amazing lakes. And like I said, there was no way I was coming all the way out to the Lake Griffin State Park, driving an hour out here, not to actually see Lake Griffin. This is pretty cool. Had to come out here, had to drive 5 minutes down the road to the mobile park community to see this. Look at that. What a beautiful sight. All right, guys, so there you go. Lake Griffin, not at the actual state park itself, but here at the Griffwood Mobile Park community. That is beautiful. Had to see it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.